Hello everybody and welcome back to another stream. Today we are testing it out, the big one, the Fenix A320. We've been waiting for a while, and today we're going to find out what the hype is all about. And it's been a pretty seamless process so far. We have yet to fly it, I've yet to start it, I've yet to do anything with it. Only picked it up about an hour ago myself, so everything that you guys see is going to be first-hand experience with this aircraft. I'm not going to follow every little detail down to the wire. We're still going to fly it, but I'm sort of going to wing it, get it up and started pretty quick here and just see how it flies and what it operates. We're going to peek around the EFB and some of the other features that come with the aircraft and just sort of work our way around it. Now, from what we can tell, it sort of looks like there isn't much of a checklist that comes with the aircraft, so kind of grateful that I had the fly-by-wire guide. Let's go ahead and get this show started. Let me know if you guys have any problems hearing or if any of the sound or anything gets wonky or out of shape. But here we go. Alrighty, let's see here. Alright, so looking right at it, when I first got into it, I was impressed by some parts and honestly not so impressed by other parts. The texturing is good. Don't get me wrong. The texturing is very good, but I think it just sort of matters on what you're looking for. Some of it looks a little drawn out and maybe drawn out's the wrong word. What's the word I'm looking for here? Faded almost, like it's not quite. I don't know how to describe it. There's a couple weird artifacts. Definitely. Like if you look around the button lines, you know, especially as you start moving the camera, they get really pixelated. That is a good question. I never actually looked myself. Hang on a second. And I will be able to tell you how much it was. Got to pull out the old receipt for that. Let's see here. What did we get? It was... Oh, no. That's here. Hang on a second. Yeah. $61. There you go. Catheta nailed it. But anyway. So if we peek around, like if you guys... I don't know if you guys see all this weird pixelization or sort of weird artifacting that's going around all the buttons up here. That is not the stream. That's legit. I don't know if you guys can really see it. I'm sitting here looking at the stream. It doesn't really look like it shows up very well. Oh, there you go. Yeah, all that weird banding going around the buttons, that's actually happening. So I'm not quite sure what that's about. But you know what? It is what it is. And we're going to get started here. So one of the things that I do like right off the bat, the only thing that I played around with, if we go mess around with the EFB for a second, you're going to want to come into your settings here. Navigraph was very easy to connect. The SimBrief integration was very easy to connect, although I don't think I actually typed that in correctly. I think I have an underscore there. I should probably check my SimBrief account. I'm not going to worry too much about the integration today. At least I don't think I wasn't planning on it. Nope, that's correct. All right. I couldn't remember if I had an underscore between the names. But anyway, so that was very easy. I like that it's got the night mode for the charts right off the bat as to set. You know, as your default there. That's kind of sweet. Let's see here. Departure performance. This is the first time we're looking at this information here. Ooh, mercy. ICAO code. Well, let's start popping some of this in here. We're coming out of Tucson, and we are going for 298. Surface is dry. Flap config. We're going to do flaps 1. Do we want toga? We don't want to force toga. Why would I want to force it? Packs are going to be on. We obviously have passengers on board. Takeoff weight. We actually have to populate that. Interesting. All right, well, we'll grab that later because we don't know what the takeoff weight is yet. How do I get out of this? Ah, there we go. Let's see here. Sync. Oh, you know what? I don't think I have live weather turned on. Let's turn that on real quick. All right, so there's live weather. And let's see what happens here. Look at that. That was quick. So that's pretty slick. 3107 knots. Yep, and I'm showing the same thing on my Class Echo, so that's legit. And we got takeoff runway. Okay, so we still have to get all this information together yet. We don't have all of that. I hope that pulls that directly from the EFB. Otherwise, it doesn't. Or the EFB, the MCDU. Otherwise, that kind of has me curious. So maybe we'll come back to that. Let's reset that for now. Let's see what else we got. Arrival performance. Let's see what this looks like here. Much of the similar information it looks like. So we'll check that out as we're on the approach, or at least coming close to the descent. Navigraph. Like I said, this was very, very easy to set up. I give them props for that. That was very nicely done. And let's see here. We can actually do at our departure. So again, KTUS. Where's my enter key? Is that my enter key? No. Oh, I took that away. KTUS. This isn't very... Oh, geez. How about the one that looks like an enter key? All right. And destination, we are going over to LA. Pretty quick flight. Nothing too crazy. We're basically going to be following the same route that I have in my guide using the Flybywire. So, route information. Let's see what this brings. Not sure how we would put that in there. So let's try the import route from SimBrief. See if that works. Importing? Nope. Something went wrong. Please try again. All right, let's go back and check. See if we can make that work. It shouldn't matter if it's all capitals. At least I don't think it does. Come on. Overkill. Productions. Gosh darn it. Not crazy about the keyboard here. I thought I just typed it in with my keyboard last time, but it doesn't seem to be working. All right, and let's press enter. Let's get rid of the keyboard. Let's go back over to, where were we? Navigraph. So not sure what's going on there. I'm not going to waste too much time on it. I can tell you that much right now. Lost all of my other information too. So we'll play around with that maybe while we're in flight. We'll just set it up the old-fashioned way. Pilot brief. Let's see what we got here. So it looks like you can import it. Nope, same thing. Oh, OFP with your username. Interesting. All right, I'll have to find out what's going on with that because that's kind of hard. We have a... There's the user guide. Oh, I don't know why people are saying that it didn't bring a guide in it. It absolutely has a guide in it. Oh, you know what, though? Just looking to see, this isn't really a checklist, is it? It's more of just getting started with the aircraft, but doesn't actually tell you how to fly it. Ground services, performance calculators. And then you get a normal checklist, but for someone who's never flown the A320 before, this is going to be very... Yeah, I'm seeing that. Oh, you know what? I didn't even catch that. Is it wanting that? You might have just hit it right on the head. Well, it says username. It's not asking for the pilot ID. We can try the pilot ID. I still have SimBrief up. Give me a second. We'll try it one more time. If I can remember where the heck you get it at. Hang on a second. I got to go back to the previous page. There it is. All right, so we can try it. Let's clear that out. numbers. And let's see here. My pilot ID is 110830. And let's hit enter. Oh, wow. That helps a lot, though, didn't it? All right. Let's get rid of that. All right. Do we need to, like, reboot the EFB? Let's try it. Do I need to... you know what? Here, let's try that. Let's reboot the EFB now that we put that in and see if that makes a difference. I do think the login thing is kind of cool. I have to admit. As silly as that is, I think it's kind of cool. All right, that was all the sim settings. Let's go back. We went to Navigraph last time. That's my understanding, and that's what I'm expecting. That's why I'm not necessarily... There it goes. Hey, you guys were right. That was it. So if your username doesn't work, Pilot ID did. So, nice. Good call, bud. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, cool. Well, that makes that easy. So then now if we want to go to charts, I'm assuming we click here. Yeah, look at that. All right, let's see. Does it ground charts, airport information, and gates? And it does track aircraft location. That's kind of cool. Does the pencil actually work? Look at that. Oh, that's pretty dope. Nice. All right. So I can actually see that being kind of cool and being handy to have sometimes. Yeah, that's a good point. Mine, the username worked fine as well. Oh, really? All right. Well, of course, everything has to give me a hard time. It's like it knows. He says Phoenix. What's up, Scoob? All right. So I'll tell you what, guys. We're just going to go ahead and get it started the same way that I would start the Flybywire A320. And the reason why I'm doing that is to sort of get the idea of, can you come from the Flybywire A320 to the Fenix A320 without much of a, any kind of problem. So not going to be a stickler about procedures and things like that today. I'm just sort of, I want to get up and fly the aircraft, listen to some sounds, see what it's all like. So, yeah, no, I agree with the A321X is not. I totally agree with that, but we'll see what happens here. There is definitely some differences. Keypad up here is quite a bit different. That's definitely new. Let's see what we got here. Now, one thing I do like, you know what, before we do that, check it out. One of the things that was really easy to set up were the wing views. Like, that was so simple. You can just literally walk around the cabin. So it's kind of nice. Let's see here. Let me, I'm not very good with keyboard controls when it comes to the camera crap, but that way you guys can see. And I don't know why we're crawling. There we go. So $61 US, not too bad if you are interested in buying it. But cabin, pretty decently modeled. I mean, you know, how often are you really going to be spending a lot of time back here? What's kind of cool is if you guys catch it right here. Oh, never mind. You can't walk out. I thought you were going to be able to walk out. That's kind of crappy. But I do like that. That's kind of neat. Like, you could do some pretty cool cinema with that ability, you know, being able to walk around the corner. This is the kind of crap I think about. I don't know why. Call me weird. But anyway, so pretty dope, right? So let's get the show started here. So let's see here. We're going to do, let's make sure our pre-flight is set. Gear is down. Parking brake is set. Flaps are retracted. Speed brake is retracted and disarmed. Everything else looks good. Hang on one second. I got a cough. I'm finally at the tail end of this damn sickness I've been busting over. Yes, circuit breakers do work. That's actually a good thing to take a look at too. Check this out. So, one of the things that you will have to make sure is that, oh, maybe not. Maybe only some. So it looks like only some of them work. Huh. I wonder why. Oh, hello. Jump seat does. I wonder why only some of them work. That's kind of interesting. Huh. So some do and some don't. It looks like mostly the green ones, but it looks like even then not all the green ones work. So maybe that's something that's still a work in progress kind of thing. Well, no, so there you go. So it looks like not all circuit breakers, but it looks like a lot of them are. So I suppose we better make sure they're all punched in, huh? I would assume they wouldn't start it out. What happened? There we go. Anyway, interesting. All right, so let's do this. There's battery 1. Battery 2, looking good. External power is available. All right, and let's do our APU fire test. No audio for that? Huh. I wonder why we're not getting any audio. That plan lasted about 4 minutes. I'm in the process of transitioning from Streamlabs OBS into OBS. So the answer is yes. I use OBS for all of my recordings. I just haven't completed setting it for streaming. I'm digging the sounds. Let me know if you guys can't hear the sounds for any reason. All right, so let's see. We got Pack 1, Pack 2 fault, Gen 1, Gen 2 fault. Those are to be expected. Let's work our way up here. Wipers are both off and secure. Crew oxygen supply comes on. GPS system faults are going to remain on because we don't have the IRS on. So let's go ahead and fix that. Should have been 1, 2, then 3, but you guys aren't holding it against me, I'm sure. Yeah, the sounds are pretty good so far. I'm digging that. Strobe. Now that actually looks like it's in the on position, not the auto position. It was. So strobe should be in the auto position. Beacons are off. Wing lights can come on if we want. Nav and logo lights can also come on if we would like. Runway turn off. Landing lights are all secure. Taxi light is off. Seatbelt signs will remain off until we're ready for refuel, which we still got to figure that little process out. Emergency exit lights should be armed. And we do want, at the very least, lights set to dim in the event of electrical failure. They will be the only source of electricity, or light, I should say. What you got? Oh, we wait for the APU sound? We're going to go there. We're going to get there. I don't really have... Honestly, I can't hear much of the button switches. I'll turn the game sound up a little bit. Let me know if it gets too loud, guys. But I don't think that's necessarily the stream. I don't hear very much of a switch. Like, I heard a very faint tick, but it was very, very light. Wait about 3 seconds. Let's go ahead and start that APU. Have it ready, because hopefully we'll get to load this pretty quickly. All right, let's step on downstairs for a minute. See what we got going on here. The screens look really, really nice. I do like that deeper orange on the FCP up here. That is actually kind of nice. Flight directors look like they're on by default. The backlighting seems to be a bit more subtle than what we saw in the Flybywire. The engines roar during takeoff. Oh, I'm never going to complain about that. The panel lighting doesn't seem to affect much there, which I've actually heard is pretty legit, is my understanding on that. During the day, I guess is similar with the 737 too. During the day, I guess the floodlights underneath the glare shield they're really hard to see during the day. Like, you really can't tell if they're on. That's from what I've heard. Okay, well, let's go ahead and check out a few things. So let's go ahead and take a look at setting our barometric pressure. All right, so if you hit the B key, it swaps it between standard and default, and we don't want that. And then when you switch it back, it goes to the 29 or 85. So that's kind of cool. All right, that makes that easy. All right, throttles. Let me make sure that they're working. They are not. Now, I use spad.next for my controls, and I don't know if that's something I'm going to have to change for this particular flight. I didn't even think to look at that. We may have to activate the old Microsoft Flight Simulator profiles, which will make me want to cry. but let's find out. I'm going to restart SPAD and see if it just needs to reconnect, and if it still doesn't work, we'll go from there. So let's step on down here, and let's start taking a look at some of what we got here. So we're going to clear... Oh, never mind, can't clear that. So let's go take a look at the configuration here. Failures, random failures. I'm not going to worry about failures today, but let's see what it's got. Air, auto flight, electrical failure, fire, fuel, pneumatic failure, navigation, gear, hydraulic. Wow. So definitely a lot of failures are modeled. Oh, it wants up and down arrows. I see. My bad. Communications, ice and rain, flight controls, start faults, indicating recordings, engines, doors, information, and oxygen. What's in doors? Left avionics, right avionics, forward entry. I guess that sets the failure? Okay, maybe I don't want to do that yet. He says fire! Trim wheel, control the lighting. Well, that wouldn't make sense because that should just be the pedestal lighting. Huh. I guess that is the floods, huh? I guess that does make sense. It shows you how often I ever use the floodlights. Like, I never do. Like, just calling it as it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back and let's see what other options we got messing around here. This is quite a busy MCDU menu. Config maintenance. What do we got in here? So we can... Does it actually pause? No kidding. Pauses the whole sim. Huh. Interesting. Flight freeze. We're going to have to mess around with that when we get airborne. And then here's our doors. There we go. There we go. All right, so that's actually how we control the doors. Okay. And you can actually have a close all button. I do like that. I do like that. Failures. Here we go again. We can do alignment failures. Ground service. There we go. So APU, ground power, ground air, pushback. We'll be using pushback, not pushback express. Is it pushback express? Toolbar pushback. All right. Damn. So really not too bad. Let's see what's in ATSU. Airline operational control. We got weather, flight initialization. Huh. Interesting. Let's hit the initialization data request, see what happens. Oh, really? Okay, then I guess we won't do that. That's kind of heartbreaking. Don't go breaking my heart. Damn, there it is. So that wasn't too bad. What was that, about 30 seconds or so? We got estimated time of arrival, so we got a flight time of about 1 hour and 3 minutes. Gives us our flight number. All right, departure, destination, all that good jazz. Damn. All right, well, that's kind of nice. Let's see here. What else we got? So these are going to be ADC, delays, diversions. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Cool stuff, though. Maybe we'll take a peek at that when we're airborne to see what's in there. Let's go into the FMGC. Let's get this show started. All right, so change code. We're obviously, I hope we don't need a change code. It's a brand new aircraft. I'm hoping there isn't any wear and tear on this. Let's see here. We should be able to clear that. GPS primary lost. That makes sense. Aircraft position invalid. You're invalid. And let's go to the initialization page. And we should do... Does that look familiar or what? All right. So initialization request. This should pull everything from SimBrief. So it got most of it. That's kind of interesting. So I guess we'll pop in the rest of it. So we're going to do American Airlines. I don't know. We'll just pick something 2352. Drop that in there for our flight number. Cost index today, I believe. I had it set at 30. Cruise altitude. I actually don't know. Whoa! Where are you going? All right. So now, is there a way to see my OFP? Is what I'd like to see. How do I find my... Let's back up here. Pilot brief, I would assume. I'll be damned. There we go. All right. 36,000 feet today. Probably a lot higher than we need to go. I've got to stop doing that. So we are going up to 360. GPS primary. Good. All right. So GPS is done. AOC is done. And now let's move over to flight plan. Flight plan discontinuity. Couldn't imagine why. All right. So let's see what we got here going on. We're doing a departure today. We are coming out of 29er right. So we're going to have a long taxi. It should be the Wildcat 3, but you know what? Let me verify that if I can remember. Oh, that's my alternate. I'm like, that's not my route. All right, Wildcat 3 to the Gila Bend transition. All right, so there's our Wildcat 3. There's the Gila Bend transition. Let's go ahead and hit insert, nice and easy. And we'll do the same thing with KLAX, doing our arrival. And we are coming in on ILS 25 left today. So we're expecting. Scrolling up on the Hollywood 1, which I just passed. No, cell phone, don't bother me right now. And we are using the Eastwood transition. And the VIA is going to be Cebu today. There you are. All right, so let's see here. That should be good. Let's double check that. Kaffa to Messi, going over from Messi to Eastwood, to McQueen, to Midler, Monroe, jumping onto the Hollywood, going to Bruin, an Aviator, Day, Wada, Neil, Cebu, looking great. Cebu's our transition onto the approach. First fix on the approach is crane. Everything looks fantastic. Not a single discontinuity. Wow. How do I know how to do this stuff? A lot of cussing and swearing at YouTube until I found it. It takes a lot of time, dude. There's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. The same way that you guys would start. I started out the same way you guys are, and I still am learning things every time. I have learned so much with the release of the 737. Like, it's amazing how much more information's out there. Some of the YouTubers out there, especially some of the real world pilots, like, you can tell when they're legit. All right, flaps 1 configuration, but some of them give really good information. Transition altitude, always 18,000 feet in the United States. We're not going to worry about flex attempt today. We're going to go toga. So let's set V1. Should be calculating. Why aren't you calculating? What did I miss? Why isn't the performance calculator working? We don't have a shift. So shift is if you're taking the runway from anything other than the very end. So like if you were taking the runway at Charlie instead of Alpha. Oops, I didn't mean to bump that. I don't know why my V speeds aren't populating. Oh, gosh, because I am skipping a step. I'm getting excited. I'm sorry. No, it's not the flap settings. I forgot to set the initial weight. We need to figure out how to fuel this aircraft. I should probably do that first. So let's get the fuel on board. Maintenance? Ground service? Or does it have to be fueled from the EFB? Let's go find out. Nope, wrong menu. Gosh, I hate learning new menus. Alright, so what do we got? Mass and balance. I'm guessing that sounds about right. Okay, so what do we have here? Planned pounds. This is going to be cargo fuel. There we go. In tanks. But I have to, you know what? I'm going to pull my Simbri flight plan up on my browser too. There we go. Looking for 13,472 on the fuel. So let's see how do I add my fuel? 13,472. Is there... Help me out here, guys. Reset. Ah, there it goes. Okay. All right, passengers. All right, fine. We can check out passengers here. Let's see. Passengers, we are looking at... Oh, that's for the 737 guide. There we go. Packs. What do we got for today for passengers? Passengers, we're looking at 148 souls on board. So let's just grab that. Almost a full flight. All right. Fuel. What do we say? 13,472. So I guess we'll go 13.5. So it makes you round it, I guess. Okay. And load aircraft. Let's just do instant today. We're going to keep things nice and smooth here. Hang on, got a cough again. Gosh, this cough is driving me nuts. All right, boarding complete. Cool. Let's see here. What do you got? I will check that out on a later video, bud. So it was brought to our attention that they are recommending not using any third-party pushbacks for this. Otherwise, you get an FPS hit. So for today, we're just going to use what they've got in the aircraft. Let's step back down here. And now we need to go back to the initialization page. We need to go over to page 2. Now, why isn't our zero fuel weight center of gravity calculating? So I'm not impressed by this so far, because let's try here. 13.5 is what we've got on board for the block fuel. Now let's see if it'll give me my zero fuel weight. Nope. Maybe we have to take that directly from the thing here. All right, zero fuel weight 123,192. 123,192. Is this in tons? 123.9. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Oh, there we go. All right, 123.9. And then zero fuel weight CG. That's going to be my 29.8. So I will say that based on some of the... Oops. Based on some of the odd configuration that's required here, they should have had a better guide than what it sounds like was included. All right, so it looks like we finally got that. Oh, did I miss that? My bad. Thank you. 123.2. Good catch. Thank you. You guys are so good to me. All right, let's go over to performance. And now we should be able to calculate our V speeds. It still won't let us. I wonder if I have to use that performance calculator. Huh. I'm not sure how I feel about that. What if you just want to fly it the old-fashioned way? Well, let's go back over there. All right, so where did we see that? You guys remember departure performance calculator? I guess we have to try this. Okay. So let's see here. We are coming off of 29er right. Flap configuration is going to be 1. Force toga, I guess. Sure, we're using toga, so we'll set it that. Packs are going to be on. Takeoff weight. Oh, come on, man. You're going to make me use it, but you can't do it yourself? We have to go back to that previous page. Some of this is a little... I'm not crazy about it. Where did we find that, guys? It's here, mass imbalances. Gross weight, that's going to be our... Well, I don't know if that's necessarily our takeoff weight. I don't know if I would call that takeoff weight. What do you guys think? Like, how many times do you have to import the flight plan, too? Oh, okay. All right, there's that. That's kind of cool. I do like that. Oh, we're 14 minutes delayed. Sync the load sheet? Did I miss that? I didn't see that yet. Where the hell was I? Son of a gun. Oh, dude, right in front of my face. I am so glad you're paying attention, Chairman. All right, cool. That is much better. You are the man. I was like, really? This is how we have to do this? All right, let's see what we get. All right, well, that calculated that. Does that transfer it down to the... No, it does not. So we're going to have to enter that in. Looks like manually. So 114, 120, 126. 114, 120, 126. So let's throw that in. 114, 120, and 126. All right. So we got that. All right, so I think we got everything. Let's walk through this here for a second here. We got our diff strip done. We got the data. We don't need to worry about that. That's the direct, not data. All right, so we got that done. IRS is aligned. We got our initialization A done. We got initialization B done, which turns into the fuel prediction. That's complete. We got our flight plan complete. We double checked. We don't have any flight discontinuities. I do like that it shows our top of climb. That's awesome. Let's see here. Top of descent. Love that too. All right, Bruin Aviator, just doing one quick check. I know we walked through it once, but I'm just double checking myself because with my luck, I'll miss something. Decel. All right, looks great. Looks great. And that should be our missed approached. Okay, so flight plan's complete. That's complete. Initialization is complete. Performance is complete. I think we're done with the MCDU configuration. All right, so let's go back to our performance. And let's come over to our FCP. Let's do a quick check here. Normally we should be checking the plan up here on the thing, but that's fine. I've flown this route so many freaking times. All right, our initial clearance, we're going to set it up to 10,000. I don't even think we have a restriction on the Wildcat 3 SID. Heading for 29er right is 302 degrees, if memory serves. We'll double check that on the chart in just a minute, but I'm pretty sure it's 302. They use 29er right because we already have a runway 3. Speed 126 knots. Although actually we don't really need to set it here, but you know, whatever. All right, we do want our constraints turned on both sides. Any altitude constraints are set. Flight directors are set. All right, I think we're just about ready. Gosh darn it, I did it again for pushback. Do a quick check here. All right, everything here looks great. That's complete. Doors are closed. Jetway's been retracted already. Flight plan is entered. Now we're currently in heading mode, which is fine. We'll change that once we get airborne. Okay, good stuff. So in that case, we are fueled. So seatbelt signs need to come on. No smoking, no portable devices signs now come on. Fuel pumps can now come on. I don't think we have anything in the center tanks. We shouldn't for this particular flight, but I'll double check that on the EFB in just a second. External power is set. We do want the APU bleed turned on now. We can now disengage external power. And all right, from an overkill, cheating, skipping a whole bunch of steps standpoint, I think we're good to go. Pack 1, Pack 2 still shows a fault, but I think that's because we're off the gen. It's only, oh, there it goes. It's on the single bus. Cool, so that works too. That's kind of cool. That really is cool. I like that the packs are working. All right, so we are ready for pushback. So I'm going to go ahead and turn our beacon light on. Let everyone know, hey peeps, we're getting ready to start this thing. You guys want to come down and like be cool? Okay, so engines are set. Let's go ahead and find out how to do our pushback. So now, didn't we have a ground services on the EFB? Let's go look at that real quick. Ground services. Oh, sorry guys, that one snuck out. All right, we don't need the GPU anymore. Chocks and cones can be removed. Forward aft step, pushback, connect the tug.
Cockpit to ground.
It pulled it up automatically. That's interesting. So I guess we're going to be trying this regardless. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the impact is. You guys get to see it firsthand. If it's just an FPS loss, I think we can work through with that, right?
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
We're going to set our auto brakes to max for rejected takeoff, although I didn't see that trigger.
Standing by for pushback.
You know what? I'm getting used to the 737. We're not ready for that yet. Which I have to say, I'm really digging the 737. Hey, how did that happen? Okay, good. Making sure we didn't lose anything. Okay, one other thing that we're going to have to do, because it's clearly not working, I need to disable spad.next. Doesn't seem to be integrating with this aircraft, so we're going to close it down so it doesn't cause a problem. And then I have to, Lord help me, use the in-game controls, which I really hate doing, just for the record. Really hate doing. That'll work. Alright, let's make sure. Yep, alright. We have throttle control. That's what I wanted. Okay. Is it lifting? Looks like it's complete. Alright, so he didn't say anything. That's lovely. Alright, let's release those parking brakes.
Please set parking brakes.
Well, then do what you need to do, bro.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brakes set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
I did that and then you yelled at me.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
Yay!
Starting the sequence.
Why is it already showing? You're not letting me do it. So I'm not noticing any frame rate loss. So maybe that's something that they resolved? Kind of wish I had pre-planned it now. Not my greatest pushback, but it's really weird when you're from this angle. Alright, hold there. Stop pushback.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brakes set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Alright, Gen 1's available. Starting number 2.
You may disconnect.
Or other way around.
Sir, cleared to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Alright. Let's see what we got here. There we go. Alright, so we got our... Can also set flaps 1 for takeoff. Ah! Okay, the door is not shut. There we go. Alright, so we got 2 engines up and running. Taxi light comes on. APU bleed can now come off. Center fuel tanks remain off. No white lights. Green. We can go ahead and stop the APU here. Good stuff. All right, so we got initial altitude set. Barometric pressure is set. Both engines are green. Auto brake is set. Flaps are set. Speed brake can be armed. I think we're good enough for our... I feel like we should see the flight directors here. It's interesting. Well, we'll find out. Let's get going. Alright, so adding power, and let's see how she turns. You know what else I didn't do? I didn't set the transponder. I still hate that you can't control your camera while controlling the mouse. So for example, or like your rudder pedals, excuse me. As soon as you go to move the camera like this, you lose any authority from the controls. So rudder pedals, etc. Get our taxi speed up a bit. Oops, wrong button. Platty 404, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Getting ready to take the old Fenix up here. Okay, couldn't remember if I turned that on or not. Oh, I know it. Drives me crazy. Take it easy, my friend. Take it easy. We're just doing from Tucson to Los Angeles, the same flight that I do in the my A320 guide. Just wanted to see what the comparison was. So far, it's pretty similar. I mean, it really is. It's going to be hard to really determine, to give you my opinion, I should say, on whether or not the 61 US dollars is worth it in comparison to the Flybywire. Really, I think it's really going to depend on what you're looking for. You know, they both have their pros and cons already that I've seen. Some of the interface in this aircraft I think is a little clunky. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and hold it here and get all of our lights and everything set up. Normally you have help to do all this, so I like to stop short and do it all. Alright, so we got our landing lights on, nose wheel light to take off, runway turn off lights on. Come on back down here. Where's our TCAS? TCAS goes to TARA. And I think ignition remains as such until after takeoff. Alright, I think we're golden, folks. Let's take the runway. Much slower spool on the engines though, huh? I have noticed that. Much slower spool on the engines. Come on, baby. Turn. Alright. And let's see here. What do we need here? We need our chronometer up for the flight. Still about 50%. Alright, my friends. Let's rock it. Toga. That sound is awesome. A little bit of downward pressure on the nose here. Clearing through 80 knots, releasing that downward nose pressure. There's V1 and rotate. Come on, baby. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Rudder pedals, really sensitive. Keep climbing, keep bringing that nose up. Positive rate, gears coming up. Activate the flight plan. I'm going to let the autopilot take it right away just so I can get an idea of what it's doing. Autopilot was very, very smooth. Looking for that thrust reduction altitude. Thrust levers back to the climb position. What are you yelling at me for? We don't have any fuel in the center tanks. Why is it yelling at me for that? Oh, you know what? I never checked that, did I? Flaps up. Airborne now. Ignition can go back to normal. I am not. I use my Thrustmaster Warthog for just about everything, which is really funny because I have just about everything that you can think of. Although, ironically enough, not the TCA. But I do have the honeycomb set. I just bounce around so much it gets hard to swap between everything. Nice, good, steady climb. Let's go ahead and increase our target altitude. I like this. This is pretty cool. Let's see what that's showing us at. Airborne, 1 hour and 4 minutes. I don't know if I do or not. Like, I've seen the TCA, don't get me wrong. It looks cool. And again, obviously, like, I'll admit, I'm a Thrustmaster fanboy. Have been for a long time. I love their stuff. But I don't know. I really like my Thrustmaster Warthog. Although, you know who's really coming out of the gate hot is Windwing. I will say the sounds from the cabin are amazing. Those are wonderful sounds. Very realistic. Oops. Come on. Strobe is on auto, so we should be fine. That should have worked. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. I had to cough again. So, are you talking about this iPad? The FlyPad? Or EFB, I should say? It's definitely nice. It's got some clunkiness. There's some things about it I'm not crazy about. It's got the pros and cons. I'm not crazy about the way the performance calculator works. you have to calculate all of your departure information and then transfer it over to the MCDU. But I don't know. You know what, though? When it comes to things like that, I think that's just familiarity, right? I'm so used to the Flybywire A320 where, you know, this is a different beast. It's the same aircraft, but different beast. And I think I need to remember that. I think I really do. We can disarm the spoilers. The aircraft motion, I do like. Seems pretty nice. A little bit of bouncing, you're floating, it's rocking left and right. I really liked that looking out here out the window. I think I like this view better. Anytime you can see the engine, right? Wish I had the wing flex. It's all it needs. Based on the rocking that we're seeing on the aircraft, I think that's really all it needs is that wing flex. If we had that wing flex, it'd be nice. But the sound is great. I'll shut my mouth for a minute so you guys can listen. Yeah, I don't see any. Ah! Oops. Okay, cool. Caught it. We do need to switch our pressure, though. Oh, I'm sure you could. There's all kinds of stuff that I've seen people do with some of the wing shots. Especially, like, remember X-Plane 11 with the Zebo? Man, people were getting crazy with some of those wing views. Some of them, like, got stupid scary as far as how realistic they looked. Some of them were amazing. And for an X-Plane 11, that was quite the feat, the way people would do that. Why do we have a company message? And why is it showing my landing lights on? Oh, it is. That's why. There we go. Let's see if we can find the company message. Do they work independently? Looks like they do, huh? Let's go to Atsu. AOC. I do like that. I do like that they're independent. Received messages. Oh, the load sheet. Cool! Accept. Huh. So you know what? I think someone hit her on the head. You know, it's going to come down to the realism that you're looking for, I think, as far as which aircraft you pick, whether it be the Flybywire, A320, or this one. Because this one seems to definitely have quite a few more features, but even then, I mean, I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Because Flybywire definitely is on it when it comes to their feature list. Definitely can't take that away from them. They've got a lot going on. So there's... I do agree. I think the sounds are better with the Fenix. The Fenix definitely didn't waste any time or effort. Yeah, and that's the catch. That's the catch. Do I think it's $50 different? to be completely honest, and I want everyone to be understanding that I paid cash for this today once it released. Okay, so this was not given to me. I don't know that I don't know that if it wasn't for you guys, if I didn't want to be able to do this for the channel and give my opinions out, I don't know that I would do it again. It's cool. It's a nice plane. Don't get me wrong. It's absolutely fantastic. I think, like I said, that there's some variances between the two that I think just come down to preference. It really does. At the same token, you know, things like being able to very easily create those custom views, the sounds on it are great. The performance calculator is actually really awesome. On the EFB, the EFB is very feature rich. At the same token, though, so is Flybywires, and it's catching up. You know, Flybywires is really working hard on, and they're getting ready, I think they're calling it OS3 if memory serves, getting ready to launch their new EFB, you know, and that's going to have a lot on it. So, oh, hey, I didn't notice that. That's kind of cool. I didn't notice you could put your mouse up there and then navigate around. But I don't know. I don't know if this is a $50 difference to me or $60 actually. I don't know. I just this is my first time flying it too, so I don't know if the waypoint hold. I'm assuming that you're talking about, right? We have to go into a holding pattern. I know it works on the Flybywire now, though. At least I'm pretty sure it does. So it's got it lit up, and you have the ability to enable it. You got your inbound course, and so it's functional. I can tell you that the function is here. I think it is a fairly complete version of the A320 if memory serves. I believe that they are like on it when it comes to completion. So just about all the flight features, I believe I read, are here. Holding patterns, auto land, all that good jazz. I believe it's already here. Yeah, you bet. So again, my thing is like, so like in this stage, right? This is why I rarely ever, by the way, this is why I rarely ever do live streams in the airliners. Is because once you get up and moving, once you get up to altitude, I mean, I like talking to you guys. I hope you guys keep chatting in the chat because I'd love to have things to talk about because otherwise I'm going to run out. But once you get up to altitude, it's just like any other aircraft, right? You're just sort of sitting there. That's why I never live stream with them. Yes, it does. In the FlyPad, there is an option to set it to have the PTU sounds audible in the cockpit, and it actually says that that particular setting, if you turn it on, is unrealistic. So yes, they're there, and you just have to go into the EFB and tell the sounds to play while you're in the cockpit. But so anyway, like once you get up to altitude, you know, where does the $50 value come into play? Now, there are things about this that are obviously right out of the gate very, very valuable. For me, the big things that stood out right away is top of climb and top of descent. Okay, like right here. And I know Flybywire is catching up quickly. You know, it really is. And they're building their own VNav profiles and all that. So, but like here, that's going to be our top of climb right there. That's where we're projected to hit our 36,000 feet. This cough is driving me nuts. It's the only thing I've got left of this stupid sickness we've been battling all week. It's driving me crazy. And then top of descent. Top of descent is probably a huge one, but at the same token, like, you know, there are advantages to the things that I have personally learned from the Flybywire experience, simply because you know, you had to learn how to get around not having that information right in front of you. So, like I said, I think it's really going to depend on what you're looking for from an aircraft. The failures in this, obviously, those are going to be pretty cool. I was watching one the other day where somebody had a bird strike. You know, that's pretty dope. You know, and then another one where they simulated an engine failure on approach. You know, so it's really going to depend on what are you looking for. How many of the features that are available are you going to use realistically? And that's where you're going to have to make the decision, okay, is it worth the $50? If you take advantage of all those features that Flybywire currently doesn't have, then absolutely I think it's going to be worth it. Especially, like, again, talking the failures and, you know, having your top of climbs and top of descents and all that good jazz already in here. The great sounds, the cool cabin pictures, even though, you know, Flybywire has their cabin too. You know, just having all that stuff at the ease and the ready definitely makes a difference. But they're both amazing airplanes. They really are. So it's really going to depend on what you're looking to get out of it. The external sounds are definitely awesome. Strobe lights look great. Yeah, I would definitely say as a beginner, as someone learning fly-by-wire is definitely the way to go. I will say that. And that's just because of the lack of documentation that I've seen for this aircraft. You know, let me check the installation directory. Let me make sure it's not something in the folder. Just before I talk out my backside here. I don't want to overspeak and be wrong. Yeah, it's got something like that. It's actually got a livery manager, so you actually go through it and you decide what you want to download too. So that's pretty slick too. Alright, so looking in the yeah, the only documentation it has is that same guide that we looked at on the EFB. It does not have a detailed flight plan or checklist. The checklist is extremely lacking, especially if you're a beginner. Extremely lacking for a beginner. Like, if you were to buy this as a first-time A320 flyer, I think you would get extremely frustrated with this aircraft. Let's see here. Anybody remember where we saw that? Well, that's where we were, huh? Oh, that's kind of cool. Huh. I like that. I do like that. Oh, really? Well, that sucks. Does this actually tell you where you are? No, it doesn't look like it, huh? Huh. Alright, so... yeah, I still don't see... where did I find the checklist? Pilot brief? What's in NOTAMs? No. That is not it. Operational flight plan is going to be, yep, my OFP, documents. Yeah, here it is. So this is it for the checklist. And that just doesn't, you know, it's like if you're new to the aircraft, cockpit prep. Well, if you're new to it, how do you know what that cockpit prep is? You know, even a lot of the MCDU configuration, we sort of had to figure out for ourselves as we went along. So it's tough. It's definitely it's a challenge to formulate my final opinion. It really is. Because it really is a good aircraft. It's cool. But I think it was cool and didn't offer any real stress because of my experience with the fly-by-wire. So I do like this. The use external device functionality for the EFB. That's slick. That is definitely something cool. It's like you can't catch the whole package. You know what I mean? You know, it's really awesome that with this one on the EFB, you can use it on an iPad or something like that. But like, again, speaking to Fly-by-Wire's advantage, you can use the MCDU on an iPad or something like that. It's like we need somebody who combines both of those, where you can have both options on an iPad or Kindle or something like that. I think that would be freaking awesome, because you know, being able to use the MCDU on an iPad or an Android or whatever is freaking cool. If you guys haven't tried that yet on the Fly-by-Wire. And then the same thing, like I like their EFB. I really do. This EFB has a lot of really cool information and a lot of neat stuff on it. You know what we can do is start taking a look at that arrival calculator. So what are we going to be dealing with here? Apply meter. 250 at 10 knots, weather 17 degrees. KLAX runway, we're going to be coming in at 25 left. Did that work? Oh, there it goes. Okay, cool. Landing weight, aircraft config. Low auto brake, that makes sense. Flaps will be full. Auto throttle probably be off, actually. Probably don't need the thrust reversers. 25 left is an extremely long runway. Alright, let's see what's this. Okay, well now wait a minute. Oh, these are failures. I see. Are these failures or this is a checklist? What's that? With the MCDU? Yeah. And it's awesome. The response time of the remote MCDU, I think is what they call it, is fast. So like if we could get the Fenix EFB with the fly-by-wire remote MCDU all on an iPad or Kindle or something, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Sky High, what's going on, man? Alright, so how do you actually set the calculator then? I've got everything that I think we're supposed to be here. Let's see here. Oh, do I have to select it? I guess I have to select it. Alright, never mind. I don't know if I'm missing something. No. I want low. Ah, landing weight. Gotcha. Alright, well, we'll have to figure that in later. Well, actually, let's see if we can find that. Did your donation come through? Oh, my alerts were turned off. Dude, thank you so much. Wow, that is really awesome. I really appreciate that, man. Holy crap. Caught me way off guard there, bud. That is very kind of you. Holy crap, dude. Thank you so much. Wait a minute. Oh, progress. Alright, let's see here. So, well, it's not what I'm looking for, and I'm trying to remember. I've been flying the 737 like crazy trying to get the guide out. You are absolutely welcome, Sky High. Absolutely welcome. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Love hearing that kind of stuff from you guys. The good feedback I get on the channel is, it really is motivational. Like, I hope you guys all understand that. It really does. I can't put into words what it means. You know, you think about a 30-minute YouTube video that typically takes anywhere from 2 to 3 hours to actually make, edit, all that good jazz. And so it's really cool hearing that, man. I really appreciate that. I gotta be all sidetracked. I'm gonna cry. Anyway, the video. Oh, dude. Talking about with the 737? Oh, yeah, I told you, dude. Absolutely. Yes. Why did that just click who you were? I'm so sorry, dude. Trying to remember everybody's screen names gets crazy. Yes, that video was amazing. Amazing. Took me 2 days to get through it, to give you an idea. And that was because I was pausing every 12 seconds writing something down. They were great. Absolutely freaking great. I was looking for our fuel prediction page. All right, fuel prediction. There we go. That's what I want. So, estimated fuel on board is 7.7. That should be at touchdown, if memory serves. Yes, that would make sense. All right, so 7.7. Why are we going to have so much fuel? That is a crap ton of fuel on board. Okay, there it is. 9.7 fuel on board. So, zero fuel weight, center of gravity. Zero fuel weight, 123.2. Zero fuel weight. We're estimated, so that's going to be 130.9, right? No, you're fine. Don't apologize at all. No. I just got done saying I hope you guys keep talking. Otherwise I get bored. So that's going to be 130.9 if I'm doing this right. Is what our estimated landing weight should be. So 130.9. There it is. Yeah, we're landing with 11,000 feet of runway. We're estimated about 6,300 to stop the aircraft. I would say that we don't need the thrust reversers on today's flight. So for those of you who don't know what I did there, and I hope I did it right, I'm assuming, I hope so. So to calculate early what our landing weight was going to be, we're going to take our zero fuel weight, because that's not going to change. The zero fuel weight is 123.2, okay, 123,000 pounds. And then we are estimated to have 7.7 thousand pounds of fuel left on board when we land the aircraft. So I took our estimated fuel, added it to the zero fuel weight, and that should be an estimate of what our landing weight should look like. See, where are we? Eastwood. We're getting close. There's our top of descent right there. It's not too bad. About another 90 miles to go yet. I think you would be right. But I don't know, because I've actually been reading a lot about that, you know, in my work to do the 737 guide. And it seems to be more based on company procedure is the gist that I'm catching. Because it's give or take. Even the thrust reversers, that's going to be more wear and tear on the engine, right? Where no thrust reverser, then yeah, you're back to burning out the brakes. So I'm not 100% sure on what the protocol is on that. It sounds like more or less with the really long runways, like even Tucson, 29er right is just over 11,000 feet. I think just under 11,000 feet. So I think on some of the bigger runways, maybe they just sort of let it roll out. But honestly, I'm not 100% positive. I can't find any real definitive answers on whether or not the reversers are required. But like you said, for simulation purposes, probably not. But even then, I don't know how much that applies, because with this aircraft offering failures, is wear and tear something that we now have to start thinking about? So I don't know. That's a really good question. I'm going to have to dive in a little bit further on that. And these are the questions that really get hard to answer. Or find answers to. A lot of the questions like that are what sometimes hold my guides up for so long, because I'm trying to make them as authentic as I can while keeping it fun and educational. And, and then when you start running into, really, there you go. Reversers are never required for landing performance unless you need them to vacate early. Gotcha. Okay. But so where did you get that information? How do you make that determination? And I have heard they're never required. I absolutely agree with that. I will second that. I have heard they're never required. I'm just referring to best practices, I think, is what we're all trying to figure out. Oh, there you go. Okay. It is a bonus. Plus, it sounds cool. I remember my first time ever flying. I was flying from Tucson to Ontario to spend a summer with my sister when she lived out there. We'll come back to the CRJ. I'm not sure yet. But I remember the first time that I landed, and they opened up the thrust buckets, and I happened to be sitting where I could see it. And my dad and I have always been real big into aviation, so we'd already been talking about it. And I had an idea, how they worked, but I'd never actually seen them before. And I think I was like 8, dude. And I'm flying with my older sister. Maybe I was a little older than that, but not much. But I remember looking out the window in time to see the thrust reversers open up, right? Well, I didn't see the thrust reversers open up. My little mind saw the engine coming apart, right? And I freaked out, man. Freaked out. Did not understand why this engine was opening up. Never mind that we were on the ground, so obviously it was okay. But still, why is the engine coming apart? It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever done. Ah, gotcha. Okay. And the CRJ, I don't know. I've been slowly working on a guide for the CRJs, for Aerosoft CRJ, for quite a while, and I keep running into constant issues with it. So, but I haven't ever said anything about it because I don't know how much of it is all my add-ons and all the other stuff that I use, and how much of it is learning curve, and how much of it is genuine just performance of the aircraft. So, I mean, there's been nothing game-breaking. I wouldn't say it's not a fun aircraft, but... Alright, so let me take a look at our... Oh, hey, we can do it from the thing. Let's take a look at Navigraph. And I want to look at our star. Arrival. Oh, damn it. Coming in on the Hollywood 1. Let's zoom in. Ah, it doesn't show our aircraft location? I thought it did. Alright, so... Oh, crap. We've already... No, we didn't. Did we? I think we already breached our altitude. Oh, no, we didn't. There's flight level. Okay, there it is. Alright, so let's start setting some altitude here. Actually, no, because I think the A320 will automatically start descending. I don't want to do that yet. Okay, W for life. What's going on, bud? Is that a fly-by-wire thing? Shouldn't start descending until I tell it to. Now, we are going to be going all the way down, but I like to set 10,000. I always like to set the initial fix. And I'm setting 3,000, so obviously I should scroll that back up. The AI, man, Even AIG Manager is giving me a hellacious time lately. But you would need something like that, I believe. There's a couple different add-ons, I think, on FlightSim.2 that... Excuse me, had a yawn. That I believe will alter the default AI to use the more realistic liveries. It's been a while since I've messed with one of those, so I'd have to go back and check. AIG was the best one, but it's been ever since Sim Update 9. There it is. I've had a horrible time with it lately, so I'll have to go back. I need to go back through an installation process again. I feel like with AIG Manager, every time that I get it working, it breaks again. And Sky High, once again, thank you for the subscription, man. I really appreciate that. He was on it today, man. I need to figure out why my alerts aren't working. And see, this is why I'm trying to get off of Streamlabs OBS. I don't like Streamlabs OBS. It's... First off, it's... Let's call it what it is. They robbed OBS. But I've had weird behavior issues. Like, one day, everything will work fine. The next time it doesn't. It's just like, son of a gun. So I've been trying to make the transition over to OBS. The last time I tried to use OBS for streaming on Twitch, everything was going great except for the audio. Couldn't get my mic to work. No matter what I did, it would not work. So, and then I forgot all about it and forgot to go back and check it. So, these constraints are gorgeous. Perfect. Look at that. It even shows both of them at Bruin. So this is really nice too. This is a really beautiful layout, I have to say. And I don't recall, you know, truth be told, it's been a while since I've flown Flybywire. Oh, son of a gun, you made me cough up a lung. Ah, that was funny. Wouldn't surprise me, man. Wouldn't surprise me. I haven't tried the Twitch tool. I know Twitch has their own tool, but quite frankly, it sounds like Twitch is starting to piss a lot of people off. So I'm like a little wary about that. The problem is it's so much better streaming to Twitch than YouTube. YouTube, the chat delay is so long. Like by the time I see you guys' questions, it could be like so much, you know, anywhere from 2 or 3 minutes later. And then by then you've lost context. Enter destination data. Let's do it. Alright, so we need to go to performance. We'll go next phase. Alright, so let's go find our MEDAR information. We had that available on our EFB. So where was that again? Just right about the time that I start getting the hang of it, then I get all sidetracked again. Weather brief? I don't want to do it from there. Hang on a second. That's not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for, guys? Is it the main menu? There we go. Okay. That's our flight plan. MEDAR. There we go. Alright, and let's see here. What do we got here? So 250 at 10 knots. Altimeter 29er88. 250 at 10. How does that sound default? 29er.88. 250 at... Nope, wrong one. Back up. At 10. And we need to catch the temp. The temp is 18 degrees Celsius. And we need our... It's going to be 304 feet on the minimums. Landing config 3 if we wanted. We're doing full. Alright, so we got an approach speed of 133 knots plus 5 on the wind component. 128 final landing speed. Dun dun dun. Alright, where are we? We should be approaching that top of descent now. Curious if the aircraft will automatically descend at top of descent. That'd be kind of cool. wonder if the recall works. Nice. Okay, that's cool. Aw, I never turned the seatbelts off. Haha, they had to sit down the entire time. Alright, good stuff. On that, it looks like everything's going really well. I have a buddy of mine who just bought one of those $700 lightsaber replicas. I was like, wow. I like Star Wars, but I'm more of a Trekkie myself. He just showed me a picture of it on Discord. It's like, dear Lord. Isn't that crazy? Don't get me wrong, they're badass. They're cool. I just don't know if I could ever bring myself to do that. But then again, I bought my Challenger as a toy, so... Guess I really can't say anything. But this guy's die-hard Star Wars. Has all the books, knows all the history, can tell you, you know, what rebellion fight happened on what planet. So I'll give him this. He's die-hard Star Wars. All right, approaching top of descent. Yep, exactly. Alright, so there's TOD. Okay, so it does not look like it'll descend on. So let's go into a managed descent. Oh, there it is. Oh, the green dot, though. That's awesome. Alright, bring it down, baby. Bring it down. Catch it. Catch it. Wow, it's totally going to catch it too. Now what happens when it catches it? It just keeps on going. Alrighty then. Oh, maybe not. Look at that. Okay, that's a pretty nice VNAV. Right on the money there. Look at that. Yeah, it's basically your glide slope, essentially. Descent path, if you will. Man, it's holding that just perfectly in it. Okay, so that's another advantage. It really is. Yeah. So I'm really digging the descent so far. This is beautiful. And then look, it's going to meet the constraint that we have. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yes, good. I'm really impressed by all of our restrictions. And check it out. So remember I told you that I like to use 10,000 feet as my target. So there's the initial fix right there. And we need to be at or above 10,000. So perfect, dude. And then there's our steps coming through the approach, 10,000, 9,008. So top of descent, we're a little past crane, and that makes sense based on the restriction if it wants us above 10,000 feet at that point. This is slick. This is good. Adsy, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Hope I said your name right. Cool. This descent path is perfect. And that makes a lot of things a lot easier. So, again, man, if they need good documentation. Oh, it's ads. Gotcha. My bad. Gotcha. I'm blown away that they didn't do the same thing like PMDG did. You know, their documentation offers a full flight, just like my tutorial guides do. Now, I will say, minor differences between Flybywire and the Fenix. I will say that I think my tutorial guide would work just fine. There hasn't been anything that I would say that's game-breaking that I have done differently in this flight versus what I would do in the Flybywire. So maybe I'll alter the guide a little bit, you know, in relationship to the EFB. Some of the procedures would have to change. Maybe we'll alter it a bit and set it up for the Flybywire or for the Fenix, just so that way people have something if you're on the Patreon. J-Dog, what's going on, amigo? It's pretty nice, man. It is pretty nice. It's got a lot of good things to it, definitely. Definitely has a lot of good stuff on it. The descent profile is beautiful. I don't know if you were around when I said that. Whoa. The IRS alignment? Look at that, though. Check this out. That's really cool, too. You can tell it to pause near your top of descent. So the advantage there is you're on a flight like this, you want to go have dinner or something like that, but you obviously don't want to miss your top of descent. I'm sure we've all experienced what happens when you descend too late. It's a real pain in the butt. You have to turn the thing into a freaking missile. But you can actually tell it right before you get to your top of descent to pause. Yeah, I'm going to go check the EFB in just a second here. Yeah, 737 does do that. I like that. Alright, so let's see. What would that be? Probably panel states. No. Sim settings. Controls. Callouts. Oh, nice. Auto TCAS. No. I'll be damned. The what now? This section can only be used on the ground. Thanks, Chief. Alright, I gotta know what passenger in it. Ha! Look at that. Okay, that's kind of cool. No, I don't think it does either. Sure not looking that way. I know maybe they hid something up there or something, but no, it looks like you guys are right. Doesn't seem to be any way to do so. That sucks. How are we looking here? 17,000 feet. Oh no! Barometric pressure! 2980. How about that? And we're set here as well. Good. Alright, let's start taking a look at a couple things here too. Radnet, nice. Already in there. We got our ILS frequency ready to roll. Autobots, let's roll. You know what though, dude? By the time that you get everything programmed, you get your weights configured, you get your passengers on board, I really don't think it's that big a deal. I didn't even notice. Like, to give you an idea, now I was chatting with these guys and talking about the aircraft, but I really didn't use that much time. I don't think it's that bad. If you walk through your checklist and things like that, I don't think you'll notice it. You know how to start the Flybywire A320, don't you? If you're a speedrunner, that could be a problem. Which normally I am. So I do feel you on that. That's a good point. Yeah, I can't believe they didn't give you a way to do that. You can load all your passengers and everything instantly, but can't set. Maybe that's something that will come later on. I don't know. What's DDRMI? It would help if we knew what some of this stuff was, because maybe some of this is related. But I don't know what some of these abbreviations mean. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But we are getting close. See how we're doing here. Look at that, coming into our transition. All right, Platty44th, appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for chatting. It was good talking with you. If I can speak. Can't always tell when I've been talking too much because I start losing the ability to do so. And then everybody in the stream starts cheering. I don't know why. All right, coming in at 12,000. We're going to go ahead and arm those speed brakes back up. Set ignition back to the start. Auto brakes will set to low now. Yeah, it's almost back. It's almost back. I'm still muting my mic every couple seconds. Digital distance radio magnetic. Ah, I think that's that then. Well, it said digital. Well, yeah, that's it right there. So that... Here, let's find out. Yep, that was it. What does this button do? Push it. You guys ever need a red button guy? I'm your man. We need someone to push this to find out what it does. Just give me a call. I would say yes. You're better off. So my experience is from the other direction, right? Coming from the DCS F-18 going to Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I will say the Microsoft Flight Simulator one is significantly easier, missing quite a few steps, but yes. I have a bunch of DCS F-18 tutorials on my channel if you're interested in. That aircraft is awesome. All right, so we are now coming down to the wire here, so I'm going to set this down to 1,000 feet for the moment. Actually, we're going to go 2,000 here. Let's make sure we continue our descent. Good, 5,000 foot restriction. That's what we're looking for. Time for things to start. We're going to now come in at 30 miles. I'm going to turn the LS on. It will start hunting for the frequencies. Time for things to start happening. Let's go ahead and start getting ready to slow the aircraft down. We'll leave it where she's at for just a few minutes. You're fine. I really appreciate that. Please don't feel like you have to, though. That's my thing. Like, you know, I get people tell me, like, why would they use your PDF guides if you can just use YouTube? Every single tutorial guide that I have done has a step-by-step matching YouTube video for free. So don't feel like you have to. You know, my Patreon is just, it's another resource, and if people like it, that's great. But YouTube's where it's at when it comes to the F-18. You'll really like that. And you guys ever have any help or need any help, make sure you guys join the Discord. There's tons of great guys. I love helping out when I can. The F-18's fun. Whoa, got a little bit of stuttering there. All right, let's see how we're doing here. You know what I really like is those range rings on the 737. Have you guys tried that out yet? That's pretty cool. You can actually set up rings of distance to your own customization. Looks like we're landing with a crosswind. Not too bad. 9,000 feet coming on down. 8,000. Still above 20 miles out. ILS has not been acquired yet. Doesn't look like it. Oh, no. It's identifying it. I appreciate that, ads. I really do. Really do. Means a lot. All of you guys' support means a lot. Alright, let's see how we're looking here. Oh no! Got to chatting. So let's see here. We need our landing lights turned on. Nose wheel light to taxi for landing. Runway turn-off lights can come on. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Give a call to the cabin. Let them know, hey, we're getting ready to land. Oops, I never set the evacuation order to captain. Fail. Let's see how we're doing on our fuel on board. 8.1, so it looks like we're going to be pretty close to what our estimate was. We're going to be a little higher, but that's all right. I'm going to double check our MEDAR information. If I can remember where we saw that. Oh, my flight. That's where it was. And let's see here. Let's select that again. 2986 according to this. Well, 2985 there. Alright, that's fair enough. $6,800 feet now at 20 miles. Start slowing our little lady down here. Speed intervention, I'm going to bring it down to 200 knots. Do 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 do. Let's getting all kinds of saucy out under there, isn't it? Oh, the frame rates are still pretty nice, I have to say. Not too bad. See what we're getting. 35. That's not too bad for cloud cover. And almost everything's set to ultra, so. Not too shabby. We're going to pop those spoilers. There we go. Bleed some of that speed off a little bit. So what I like to do is we get close. I get into 10-mile range. And then as soon as I see our arrival airport, that's when I start configuring it for landing. Start dropping flaps, etc. Alright, there we go. That looks really good, I have to say. That's pretty cool. There, that's a good one. That's pretty awesome, man. I like the wing views. I like how easy those were to set up. Alright, let's see where we're at. I get nervous when I start looking out the window for too long. Looking great, right on glide slope. Right on glide slope. We can actually go ahead and activate the approach mode. Localizers acquired, glide slopes acquired. We're on point, kids. No, they don't. And actually, I don't think it's you, but thank you once again. I appreciate the $20 tip. Sky, you are too much, man. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. And I don't think it's you. I told you. This is why I've been trying to switch off. And honestly, in my trying to switch off of Streamlabs OBS, I probably broke the alerts, truth be told. I probably did. So unfortunately, it's my fault. You can hate me later. But seriously, thank you for that tip. That was so kind. So kind of you. All right, so we are now within about 9 miles. So now let's start this show. We're going to go flaps 1. I'm going to start taking us down to about 160 knots. Give or take. Now remember, we are looking for, let's get this down here. Let's get over to our performance page. We're looking for 134 and 129 plus our wind component. Wow, the winds are all over the place. Are we in a tornado? Alrighty then. Oof.
2,500.
We might be switching to Cat 3, guys. Alright, let's keep coming down here. We're going to go to 140 knots. Actually, I'm going to go to 135. Let's just take it all the way in. I'm going to drop the landing gear. We're going to go flaps 2. Oop, come on. If we don't get into cloud cover or out of this cloud cover soon, we're going to switch to Cat 3. So we might get to see an auto land if this doesn't knock it off. I really appreciate that, Sky High. I really do. Thank you. Alright, guys. 1800. Come on. And we're just about ready for full flaps. Come on. There's flaps. Gosh darn it. There's flaps 3 coming in. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. We are on our way into Los Angeles, California. And we are ready for full flaps configuration. Alright, full flaps. Landing config is complete. Spoilers are armed. Flaps are full. Cabin is ready. Let's go ahead and chime them again. We're landing! Run to your seats! Alright.
1,000.
Let's see if I can do this without breaking our plane. What do you guys think? $50 as I crash it. Any takers? Man, that's almost a Cat 3 landing. Almost. He says, okay. Thanks for the confidence. I don't know how I feel about that. All right. Let's come off the autopilot. And come off the auto throttle. Ah. Knock it off.
$500.
Flying manually. Why is he taking off from that way?
100 above.
Come on, come left, come left. Kick it left, kick it left, kick it left, kick it left.
Minimum
Continuing.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
I think we bounced. Maybe a little bounce. Whoa, center line. The rudders are super sensitive. There you guys go. We opened the reversers anyway. Can't hear them though. I wish we could hear them. At least I can't. Alright, let's exit the runway here. Craven, you did, bud. But you can definitely take a look at it later. We'll be uploading this to YouTube as well, so it'll be around. It really kind of was intense. I guarantee I scared the crap out of the passengers. All right, so we want to make sure that we've completely cleared the runway. Let's secure the aircraft for a second. All right, set that parking brake for just a minute so I don't go rolling. Flaps up. Spoilers disarmed. Start the APU. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, strobe lights can stay in auto, but we'll just switch them to off anyway. Taxi lights will remain on. Landing lights are coming off. Runway turn-off lights can come off as well. I think we're good. Let me double check everything. Auto brake should have automatically disabled. They did indeed. We can clear the warnings on the upper ECAM. Constraints can come off. LS can come off. Flight directors can turn off. Set our speed down to minimum. And set altitude to ground level. Alright, I think good to go. Let's just pick a gate and park it. I don't think natively. I think there's a couple apps that allow you to do so. And it helps if I release my parking brake. Simon, greetings to you as well. What part of Italy are you from? My family's from Naples. Way, way, way back. But we are Italian. I would love to see them get like a... what was that one that we had for the Zebo and stuff on X-Plane? What was that add-on called? Pilot Share or... I can't remember the name of it now. Was it... It wasn't... Was it FS2 Crew? I can't remember what it was called. Or Shared Cockpit. I think it was just called Shared Cockpit, wasn't it? For X-Plane? Gosh darn it. See, and that's what happens when you try to manipulate your controls while using the mouse. So we're just going to hope that nobody runs us over, because that gets really annoying. The quietest you guys will ever see LA. The CRJ is all right. It is. It just, I don't know. Like I said, Aerosoft products, I feel like, are hit and miss. What's your question, brother? Come on. See how sensitive those rudders are? Holy crap. Easy, girl. Easy. All right, see how we did. Aw, failed. I thought I was closer than that. Come on. Close enough. Where's my marshaller? Darn it. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's make sure that we have our APU set here. APU's on. Let's turn... Oh, we don't need the APU bleed. We just need APU power. So APU is on. And we can start shutting the engines down. Connection to norm. Taxi light turned off so we don't blind everyone on the ground. I should have done that when I made the turn towards the gate. Alright, start securing your thing. Thank you for flying with American Airlines. And we'll just leave it in a turnaround state for today. Arrived! Okay, that's kind of cool. Let's see what happens when you hit D-board. Do they just jump out? Nope, here it comes. Oh, wow. Nice. I will do that. I will do a flight to Naples on Twitch. That would be fun. I hope so. Oh, look at that. So deboarding sets everything up. Opens your cargo doors. That's pretty awesome. So it's going to be tough, right? Because Microsoft Flight Simulator, right about the time they're starting to shape things up, I don't know if you guys saw, X-Plane 12 announced a price today, $59.99. So they're getting ready to launch early access. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens as X-Plane starts to develop, you know. I don't know about you guys, but I'll definitely be giving X-Plane 12 a shot. Definitely giving it a shot. I'll have to pay attention to that. I don't know. That's good. That's a good question on the cones. Let's see how... And there's the chocks. So the wheel chocks are put into place. Does the rest of the ground equipment come? There's a big old A380 rolling in. Yeah. It's gonna be tough. And you know, where Microsoft Flight Simulator will hold on to me is the satellite imagery, right? The photogrammetry. But I haven't heard if X-Plane 12 is doing anything similar. You know, maybe a contract with Google or something like that. If they can make all that work and get the detailed satellite imagery into the sim, and be able to go and truly fly anywhere in the world and at least, get fairly decent pictures of what it really is. At the same token, when you think about it, the satellite imagery that's in Microsoft Flight Simulator, by my best guess, is at least 10 years old. So even it's not what you would call up to date. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how everything balances out. Well, guys, I will say this was a fun aircraft. It really is. I'm glad I have it. It's definitely got some features that Flybywire doesn't. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I think I'm going to say it depends on what you guys are looking for, whether or not it's worth it over the Flybywire. It's much more feature rich in the aspect of failures and, your nav displays, and the VNav seems to be quite a bit nicer. The cameras were much easier to set up. The sounds are phenomenal. But it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're someone who totally just joins in a cockpit and just likes to fly, on a point A to point B like we did here today, it's hard to say. I think that I would probably stick with Flybywire. But if it's... what happened there, Dave? Yes, it was smooth. That is fact. It was fast. Well, I want to thank all of you for joining me on the stream today. I really appreciate the continued support on the channel, both here on Twitch and then on YouTube. Patreon subscribers, if any of you guys are around, I really appreciate everything. You do not remember me? Oh, sad panda. I remember you. I used to do live streams in the Cessna and things like that. I used to do group flights a lot. I remember your name. But anyways, guys, as always, and J-Dog, thank you very much. I appreciate that, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, guys, and I will see you most definitely in the next one. Take it easy, folks.